Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some of the most fascinating accidental inventions that have had a huge impact on our lives. You won't believe how these everyday items were discovered by complete chance. We're talking about those aha moments that happen when someone was looking for something else entirely. It really makes you wonder how many brilliant ideas are just waiting to be stumbled upon. So buckle up, because we're about to explore 5 accidental inventions that changed the world. Okay, let's kick things off with a true game changer, penicillin. Imagine a world without antibiotics. It's a scary thought, right? But that was the reality before 1928. Enter Alexander Fleming, a Scottish scientist who, let's be honest, wasn't known for his tidiness. Fleming was studying Staphylococcus bacteria, the kind that can cause some nasty infections. He went on vacation, and when he came back to his lab, things were looking a little funky, literally. He noticed that one of his Petri dishes, the ones scientists use to grow bacteria, had some mold growing on it. But here's the wild part. The mold had actually killed off the bacteria around it. Fleming was like, hold on a minute. This mold is onto something. Turns out that mold was producing a substance we now know as penicillin. It was a breakthrough. Penicillin went on to become the first widely used antibiotic, saving countless lives from bacterial infections. Think about that the next time you get prescribed antibiotics for strep throat or an ear infection. You can thank Alexander Fleming and his messy lab habits for that. It's a reminder that sometimes the greatest discoveries happen when we least expect them. All right, let's talk about another accidental invention that's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. The microwave oven. Seriously, could you imagine life without the ability to heat up leftovers in seconds? This revolutionary appliance was a happy accident, thanks to a man named Percy Spencer. Now, Spencer was a brilliant engineer working on radar technology during World War II. One day, while he was working with a device called a magnetron, something strange happened. He noticed that a candy bar in his pocket had melted. Most people would just be grossed out, but Spencer, he was curious. He started experimenting, placing popcorn kernels near the magnetron. Sure enough, they popped. Next, he tried an egg, and well, let's just say it made a bit of a mess, exploding all over the place. But the point was, Spencer realized that the microwaves from the magnetron were heating things up super fast. And that, my friends, is how the microwave oven was born. It went from heating up radar equipment to revolutionizing the way we cook and reheat food. So, the next time you're enjoying a nice hot cup of coffee from the microwave, give a little nod to Percy Spencer and his melted candy bar. Let's be honest, we've all had those moments where we need to jot down a quick reminder or leave a note for someone. And what do we use? Post-it notes, of course. Those little squares of paper are lifesavers, and they have a surprisingly accidental origin story. Back in 1968, a scientist named Spencer Silver was working at 3M, the company known for, sticky stuff. Silver was trying to create a super strong adhesive, something that would bond materials together permanently. But instead, he ended up with something completely different. His invention was a weak adhesive that wouldn't stick to things very well. It was basically a sticky note fail. For years, Silver tried to find a use for his weak adhesive, but nobody at 3M seemed interested. It was like the invention that nobody wanted. Then, along came Art Fry, another 3M scientist who had a bit of a problem. He sang in his church choir, and he kept losing his place in the hymnal because his bookmarks kept falling out. One day, it hit him. Silver's weak adhesive might be the perfect solution. He could use it to create bookmarks that would stick to the pages without damaging them. And guess what? It worked like a charm. All right, sweet tooths, this one's for you. Imagine a world without artificial sweeteners. Your diet sodas would be a lot less diet. But back in the 1800s, Artificial sweeteners didn't exist. Sugar was the only game in town. Then came along a chemist named Constantin Fahlberg, who was working in his lab, studying coal tar derivatives. Yeah, not the most appetizing subject, right? Anyway, Fahlberg was working late one night, and like any good scientist, he decided to grab a bite to eat. But here's where things get interesting. He forgot to wash his hands after handling the chemicals, which, let's be honest, is a big no-no in the lab. As he took a bite of his food, he noticed something strange. It tasted incredibly sweet. At first he thought maybe he had accidentally grabbed a sugar packet, but then he realized that the sweetness was coming from his hands. He traced the taste back to a specific chemical compound he had been working with. And just like that, saccharin, one of the first artificial sweeteners, was discovered. It was a total accident, but it revolutionized the food industry. Saccharin became a popular sugar substitute, especially for people looking to reduce their sugar intake. So the next time you enjoy a sugar-free treat, remember Constantin Fahlberg and his accidental taste test. It's a sweet reminder that sometimes the most unexpected discoveries happen when we break the rules just a little bit. Well, maybe not breaking lab safety rules, but you get the idea. All right, let's wrap things up with an invention that's revolutionized medicine: X-rays. We've all had X-rays taken at some point, right? They allow doctors to see inside our bodies without having to cut us open, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. But did you know that X-rays were also discovered by accident? In 1895, a physicist named Wilhelm Conrad Roentgen was experimenting with cathode rays, which are streams of electrons. He was using a device called a Crookes tube, and he was working in a darkened room. As he fired the cathode rays, he noticed something strange happening in the corner of his lab. A screen coated with a fluorescent material was glowing, even though it wasn't in the direct path of the rays. Roentgen was intrigued. He started placing different objects between the tube and the screen, and he realized that the rays were passing through some materials, but not others. He even noticed that he could see the bones in his hand when he held it up to the tube. Roentgen had stumbled upon a new type of radiation, which he called X-rays, because, well, he didn't know what else to call them. He discovered that these mysterious rays could penetrate human tissue and create images of bones and organs on photographic plates. The medical world was amazed. For the first time, doctors could see inside the human body without surgery. It was a game changer for diagnosing and treating injuries and diseases. And there you have it, folks. 5 incredible inventions that came about completely by accident, but have had a massive impact on our daily lives. From life-saving antibiotics to convenient kitchen appliances, these accidental discoveries have shaped the world we live in. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating stories about history, inventions, technology, and the secrets that shape our world.